Hey, welcome to my FlossTube channel. I am Chrissy, finally a farm girl, and it is Sunday, April 30th, 2023. I am excited to be with you today. I have my summer release parade, I guess if you want to call it, to share with you today, the fully finishes and all the details that go with it. I wanted to go through my week that I had with you a little bit and get into a new start. Obviously my new releases are 6 FFOs, and go through some of that, as well as progress made on Ginger. This is my dog Ginger, just in case you're new. She looks so much like Teresa Koket's dog. It just cracks me up when I see her dog. And although I would say out of the 3 dogs we had, that Ginger is the craziest, but she's also crazy cute and is just a lover and really just wants attention. So this is her spot. It changes every now and then, but this is where she'll look out the sliding glass window and do all her pretend hunting. But anyways, I'm glad you're here with me today. I had a week that was filled with birthdays. So can I just say happy birthday to Annie, the proper stitcher, to Linda, Stitchy Linda on Instagram, and to my dad. My dad's birthday was the 26th, and Linda and Annie's was the 25th. I had a doctor's appointment. Philip and I did a couple of outings. Overall, it was a really good week. I can't say that I did a whole lot because there was a couple of days in there that Philip needed rest days. And so I did design something, my very first nautical design. I really like it. I'm excited to eventually be able to start stitching it, but that's going to take a trip up to Brick City Cross Stitch, that's my local needlework shop, and get all the supplies. I am slowly but surely able to do so much more now from my house. It seems like the more that I have been designing, the more a year later I'm able to pull from what I have when designing something new, and that's really nice. That feels really good to me. Okay, so I also had, I never share this ahead of time because I think it's nice for the attendees of any retreat to be surprised when they get there, but I had a trunk show that was up at this weekend in Lansing for Annabella's spring retreat, where Teresa Koget was the guest designer. So unfortunately, weather delayed the shipment. The timing of these things can be a little crazy hard. You don't want your things to get to the hotel or the location where the retreat is too early, but you also don't want them to be late. Unfortunately, I sent it out and counted how many days that she had asked for, and we had weather that came to Florida, and I mean we had weather that came to Florida this week. Linda had lost power couple of times. She's had a tree go down in their yard, not hurting anything, but still went down. 2 trees the night before go down in the neighbors' pastures. So it has been some serious stuff. We've had some warnings, tornado warnings, and that in and of itself I think caused some delay, and so my designs and patterns for that trunk show did not arrive until yesterday, but it did in fact arrive. So I'm happy that my things could be there at that retreat. Okay, so with all that rain, we also had in Florida here, we have bike week. So it gets a little crazy down here, especially in Central Florida during bike week in downtown Leesburg. So all of that has been happening. Philip loves seeing the motorcycles. My dad helped out at his church park cars and do things like that. So it's kind of been busy and then kind of not been busy. So anyways, let's get started. I have a new start, and so I thought maybe before I get into the summer releases, I would go through my new starts, or one new start, and my whips, and get those out of the way. Every Saturday, and whoever wants to do it with us is welcome to join us, but every Saturday I do Prairie Schooler stitching, and generally it's Santa, Christmas related. So in the past you've seen me do Christmas Eve and Saturday Santa stitching, Prairie Schooler. Anyways, me and Linda and Tina from Team Egner and Jen, Sweet Chaos Stitcher on Instagram, we all Saturday night stitch on a Prairie Schooler, usually Christmas. But I had started Miss Fortune, the Prairie Schooler, and I tried this the very first night thinking it would be a great project to take to my dad's on Wednesday nights. It is not, because the fabric I picked, even though I love it, it actually is too dark for my dad's lighting. He has great lighting for everything else, but this is called Copper Penny. It is 32 count by Weichelt, and this is my progress. I love her. She is fun and kooky, and I love some of the different changes that people can make. Tina is very creative, and so she has a purple magic ball, I guess if you want to call it, and her face is green. I did stick to the pattern, but unfortunately I have run out of the brown, which is a great black brown by DMC. So this is all DMC, and I will need to get out to the store or see if I have another one, but I thought, as opposed to working on Christmas last night, I was getting close enough to move towards a finish on this, and then not have to take it, not take it over to my dad's, and just get it done. But this is my first Halloween Prairie Schooler, so I love it. Anyways, and I know that we have more to do. I'm not sure where we're headed next. It's either When Witches Go Riding or the cobweb one, where the witches at the bottom are dusting the cobwebs out. But either way, I will say that this fabric is phenomenal. It was a recommendation by Tina by watching Stitching Faye, FlossTube. And wow, do they just look so great. So that is Copper Penny by Weichelt. It's not the easiest to find, but we were able to find some, and this is 32 count. It does seem like the weave is a little tight, so I feel like I'm stitching on 36. I'm not sure, but that is what it feels like. Okay, so that is Miss Fortune. I know as soon as I share her picture with my daughter, she's going to want her. Anytime I share a picture of my Halloween stuff, Olivia was born in October. I've shared that many times on here, and she loves to decorate with cute Halloween, which is right up my alley. So, and she's a big Jack and Sally fan, so anyways, she's got a hold of a couple of the summer releases, and she's like, that's going to be mine, right? So I told you that last week, I know. All right, so you see I got my StitchCon shirt on. It came, I ordered 2 shirts for this year. I'm going to Weekend A. Last year, I just think it's a given, guys. I think it's a given that where you're ordering it from, and you're ordering this in bulk, that the sizes and the different styles are not always going to be the same. So one of mine was bigger than what I would like, and this one is my favorite because it's long sleeve, and I noticed that at StitchCon last year that a lot of people, you're sitting and you're in with everybody a long time, and I really noticed that comfort was the way to go. So I really liked the thin, and I really love this shirt. Anyway, so I wanted to wear it one time and show you guys, because we are just weeks away now and getting so excited. So like I said, I had 2 from last year, one, and it was the same thing last year. My jersey that I got, that fit perfectly. My regular plain t-shirt, that was way too big. So again, what I've decided is my way too big ones, I will take to the late night stitchy group, because then you can just kind of be like you're in your pajamas but not. So I am getting excited. I'm sure everybody else is too, but I am seriously getting really excited as these days and deadlines keep ticking away. So anyways, all right, so new start. I feel like there should be a drum roll here, but I finally started my first Brenda Keys, the Sampler Company pattern. I went to church. I absolutely love this. Let me see if I can get it a little bit closer. I love the weeping willow tree. I especially love the church. I love the fall colors. They're just, it's got a really different saying. I think it's kind of comical, but at the same time, I just love it. And it says, I went to church on Sunday. My love, she passed me by. I knew her mind was changing by the roving of her eye. Anyways, there isn't really anything of Brenda Keys that I don't love. I think this was the perfect one to start with. The only thing that I know is that she stitched hers. The model is done on light fabric, almost white, and that church is not filled in. So for me, who went with a darker color, Sampler Gold, I will have to stitch and fill in, and that is perfectly fine with me. So let me show you my start. I'm working on the tree. I've gotten in a couple of, people holding hands and some sheep. Now I don't have the sheep's legs on because they're just a back stitch. Let me see if I can, there we go. I was trying to see if I could get you the right color of Sampler Gold, and it's actually a little more gold than what it's showing, but I'm pleased with the way. I was a little worried about this part of the border because it is a gold that it may not show up, but I think it shows up nice. I love these muted colors, and so I do wish that this would show up in the right, but it's super pretty. And I will say, they're all DMC floss. There we go. Oops, that's kind of messy, but that's okay. And they're just really nice colors to work with. So, I can't tell you how thrilled I am to have one officially started, and actually a good start. I love being down there in the corner, and the border is done with black, and I love that. I love the primitiveness of the border, so that has been, it just pops right off that fabric. So it's been a joy to stitch on. The pattern is very nice to read. I don't know if you've ever done a Brenda Keys, or sorry, Brenda, yes, what am I doing? Anyways, I don't know if you've ever done the Sampler Company A pattern by Brenda Keys before, but it is really, it's black and white, but it's really nice to read, and she includes so many little tidbits of history on different motifs and their meaning. I know a lot of you probably know that, but it is really a nice part of having one of her patterns, so I can't wait to stitch more. I bought that Sampler Gold, which I think was Picture This Plus. I would have to double check, but I bought it probably 3 years ago now. I was working towards, when I would get a pattern, I would take it up to Brick City and get the Sampler Gold. So they're all cut specifically for the 5 that I have ready to go. So I don't know if it's still available, but it is a beautiful, beautiful color. Okay, so moving on. Yesterday I painted again. not too long ago, right after market, I painted this room here, which is attached to the kitchen and attached to the laundry room and attached to by the pantry. That was about a 3-week process. Most of it was done, except we had to get to the very high parts over our cupboards, and so that was reserved for the weekends, so I could, help my husband and stuff like that up high. So, but then I decided in Mount Dora this weekend was the Blueberry Festival, and my daughter, who works at a restaurant down there, she was going to be basically gone for the weekend, for the sake that they pack them in, and festivals are incredibly busy for her. So it has our second master in this house, and it has another nice size bathroom, and it did need it wasn't bad, but it needed a nice paint job. So with her being gone, I snuck in there yesterday and went ahead and painted the room and gave it a deep cleaning, and I'm waiting for, there's just one window in there, the curtain, to arrive. We bought a couple new light fixtures, and that was our day yesterday. I'm really tickled and really pleased. This house still amazes me, and I love it so much because it gives us everything we need. Eventually that room will be basically my craft room. It'll be finally a farm girl business room or office, whatever you want to call it. It'll have a place where Philip can do what Philip loves to do, and it'll also be a guest room. So it's a nice, we have 2 masters here, and it's our second master. So it was really nice to feel like I was making a little progress in there. So that was that. All right. How about we go ahead and move on, and I'm going to not do this in really any particular order, but I do have the notes with me, so I'm going to need to put my readers on, but I thought maybe I would start with this really cute Halloween design that I put out kind of last minute for my summer releases. I have 2 Halloween that I did for my summer releases. Why did I do that? Well, I have to stitch, and I have to design what I'm in the mood for, and I really went through I was really in the mood to stitch Halloween. And I wanted to have I wanted to design my first pumpkin girl. So whoa, hold on one second. Thank goodness that was water. Okay. Anyways, the name of it is When the Moon Whispers, which comes from the poem. This is Olga, and she is my pumpkin witch. And you can see I did what I did with Beulah, which was I used one of the Hobby Lobby miniature broom. I dunked the post or stick part of the broom in some, like, basically strong coffee, just enough because it was kind of white. And so I dunked it in there, and I sculpted the broom to the way that I wanted it to look. And so this was kind of one of those efforts that I worked on with Team Egner. So let me get a little closer for you. And what's really cool is that I have mine basically slightly a little more whimsical, and Tina has hers a little more primitive. She has taken the face off the moon and just kept it a moon. So, there are things you can do if you want to change them. You do not have to put the face on the pumpkin if you don't want to. So, but I do love Olga and her crow on his perch with his cute purple hat. I had it framed at Hobby Lobby in kind of a more rustic, you can tell it's got the sanded off edges frame. And let me give you the details. Oh, I got it wet. Dang. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. All right. The fabric is 32 count linen pistachio frappe by Grace Notes Fabric. This fabric I'm in love with. It makes it sound like it's green because of pistachio, but it's not. It may have a slight hue, but it really doesn't. It reminds me a lot of vintage country mocha in a way, but I love their fabrics, and I stitched this model because once I designed it, Tina and I were like, okay, we're going to stitch it right now. And so at Market, I had met the husband and wife team of Grace Note Fabric, and they're super sweet, and they had a huge selection of colors. So I wanted to use it in one of my newest models, and this is the one. So anyways, it is 32 count Pistachio Frappe by Grace Notes Fabric. The stitch count is 113 by 114, basically square. It is all DMC, and there she is. It says, and I love the brown in this. When witches go riding and black cats are seen, the moon laughs and whispers, 'tis near Halloween. So anyways, I hope you like her. And I wanted to share that last week when we were doing that, or a couple weeks ago when Tina and I were doing this, and I shared the design and knew she wanted to stitch it, we have both been on a little bit of a Halloween binge here. So she created these great thread drops, and they are available in her Etsy shop. Let me move this out of the way. These come with a really cute broom charm. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. I wanted to keep, hold on one second. I wanted to keep this little tag that came with it. But what you get is, you get a little fortune, and then you get a little broom, this little broom charm, and then there's this variety, which I love the house. So let me put this back now so you can see them maybe a little better. But they are really super cute. So if you're ready for some Halloween stitching, you know where to go. So anyways, these are mine, and I'm not sure what I'm going to use them for next, but I know I have plenty of Halloween around the corner. And see, I think the nice part, and that it may be just it's a personal preference, but I really, I'm more in the mood to stitch Halloween in summer. And maybe it's a Florida thing, I don't know, because that's when we get hot. So I'm thinking of fall. I'm waiting for those days to cool down. So I don't know if that's why. I'm not sure if it was exactly the best time to release Halloween, but it is what it is, and I'm okay with that because eventually it'll come around. And but that's how it seems for me, because then once I've stitched all that, then come Christmas and July type stitching, I am ready. I start to get ready July, August for Christmas stitching, and I enjoy that then. So it's just me. You stitch what you love, and that's the name of the game. So you enjoy it the whole time. Okay, so then the next one is my second Halloween one, and it is called Witch's Cauldron Cafe. One second here. And this pattern introduces Gordon the Ghost. That looks, well, I'm trying to see it, get you the right green. Okay, so it's not, let me see if I can. Nope. Okay, I'm going to tell you, this is on a bright green. I don't know if backing it up helps, but this is on a bright green fabric, and I absolutely love it because Gordon the Ghost pops right off. He is with his ghoulish friends, Miss Matilda, and his little buddy down there. They are all having coffee except this little one here who has a little juice cup. But let me get closer so you can actually see the design. You've got the coffee station over by the cat and the little sugar there in the shaker, coffee cups up on the 2 shelves, and the frame is, I love this. It was framed at Hobby Lobby. But I think he's cute. But I do wish you could see the fabric the right way. This fabric is, well, that might be a little better there. I'll try and leave it like that. Okay, so Witch's Cauldron Cafe was stitched on 28 count pampas, P-A-M-P-A-S. That's actually, it's brighter than that, guys, because he pops off it so good. The stitch count is 121 by 91, and it is all DMC. So again, just another nice one to be able to stitch up using all DMC. Okay. All right. The next one I love. If you are a chicken keeper, a crazy chicken lady, which I have been that, and I'm not a chicken keeper anymore, but I have been. I've had up to 30 chickens at one time when we lived on our farm, Seventh Heaven Farm. And this design is called Coop Life. And there's a story behind it that would probably take way too long to share with you today, but I will tell you that it was a little bit of it's such an interesting thing to me to realize that chickens can be cuddly and that they can be therapeutic in the same way that a cat or a dog is. It all depends on the chicken. So our very first chickens we got were called Buff Orpingtons. They're the bright, fluffy, yellow, heavier looking chickens. They're kind of family friendly, so they're great to start with, if that makes any sense. And we raised 2 of them, and so mine was Laverne, and we had Laverne and Shirley, of course. Laverne became incredibly cuddly and was very special to me. And she would go for, we had a complete sidewalk around the first farm where we rented when we relocated, and we had this great sidewalk that went all the way around the house. And so we would take Philip for walk around there, and he could hold that chicken in his lap, and that chicken would go for a wheelchair ride. And it just amazed me. She didn't fly off. She just would let him hold him for however long he needed, and he loved that. And if I can find some of those pictures, I will do that. She loved to be rocked. So I would sit on our farmer's porch with our rockers. I would rock her. She loved to look at my telephone, my phone with me, my cell phone. And my profile picture on Instagram is me with Laverne and my stitchy glasses. So the other portion to the story is that there's nothing better to me on a farm when you have chickens, when you go out to the coop in the morning and you open the door and they're waiting there for you. And we would let them free range, which means they would be in the coop at night, and then we would open the door and they could go out and do the grass and the bugs and get all their essentials to keep them healthy. And then I would get to watch them from the house. So that was how we chose to raise our chickens, and they did have a run attached. So if in fact there were something going on or where we didn't want them out, they still had plenty of room to get around. So on our coop door, it was a regular full-size chicken wire coop door. And when you would get there in the morning, they were dead center at that door waiting to get out. And there were many times that our chickens would greet us with new babies. And so this was the inspiration behind this. It's my way of celebrating all my favorite parts of farm life. And so this is Coop Life, and this is my girl Laverne, and her showing me her new baby chicks. And this was, you know, kind of like the door that we had. We had the corner braces and all that kind of stuff. So I'll get in a little closer, but as you can see, it's on a different kind of a finish. This is a wood screen window that Hobby Lobby has in their unfinished wood area. So basically I did paint it black first. Then I found this wood-like looking fabric to make it look like maybe barnwood in the back. And then I put some, it's like a goldish roping around it to make the edges look good. And then I made just a tan gingham bow. My aunt taught me to make bows years ago. She was a florist. So I enjoy making them. So that is my finish, and I will say it was really fun. Now obviously you don't need something this big if you don't want something that big, but I loved the look of putting her on chicken wire. So that is my Laverne, and she is stitched on 28 count Atomic Ranch Weatherstone. Her stitch count is 84 by 142, and she is a combination of Weeks Dye Works because I used whiskey for Laverne, and grits, and then there's DMC, and then like I said, this window I purchased from the Hobby Lobby unfinished wood section, and I miss her. The sad part, and I mean, was when we moved to our farm, when we bought our 7 acres, and we moved the chickens over, when we were ready to bring them over, I lost her to she passed. I lost her to a predator, and I will say it was, you know, like I said, it was devastating to me, and I still look back so fondly. She's photographed in magazines in the past. Her Christmas photo, which sounds funny, but yes, she was in the Backyard Poultry magazine. So it was just a fun journey. And I love her boots. I mean, there's just so much character. So Chris Leedy, I meant to give thanks to all my model stitchers. So let me start with this one. Chris Leedy stitched this for me, Crisscross Stitcher on Instagram, and she also stitched it for herself. She stitched it on a darker fabric, and she stitched it and framed it. I will share a picture of that so you can see what it looks like framed at the end. And I love it on the darker fabric as well. So it was such a great option, and it just cracks me up that she's another chicken fanatic like me. So I stitched the When the Moon Whispers. However, the Witch's Cauldron Cafe, this was stitched by Chris Young. She is local and is one of my Brick City stitchers, and she does a phenomenal job stitching. So thank you, Chris Young, for that. Thank you, Chris Leedy. One is with a K and one is with a C. The next one is Matilda Gives Thanks. I designed this, and I just really wanted to have something for Thanksgiving, but yet could almost be out all year. So it is kind of meant for a fall stitch, but it was also meant to share what Matilda's home would look like. I love the older things, so this is Matilda Gives Thanks with her quilt on the wall. It says Home Sweet Home. This one is stitched on 16 count grandma's stuffing by Fortnite Fabrics. And I don't think you're going to get a really good look at it, but you have seen it before. It is a great yellowish color. Let me get in closer. So she's got her little mouse friend. He got a little pumpkin. The potbelly stove just kills me. But of course, what else would she stitch on? She's got her kettle ready. And of course, she's churning butter for her family. So this was stitched by Mary Brown, another beautiful stitcher at Brick City Cross Stitch. And this is a beautiful Ada. You cannot go wrong with Grandma Stuffing. Grandma Stuffing was used in my Summer Blessings design with the church on it too. So it isn't true. In this case, it looks like it's a true yellow. It's not. It is dyed, and there's a little movement to it, but I love it because it looks like an older yellow. Okay, and that was all DMC. The stitch count on this is 90 by 56. And again, that was Grandma Stuffing by Fortnite Fabrics. And thank you to Mary Brown for that. All right, this was I love my Coop Life finish. I did that myself, and I knew what I wanted, but anytime you decide to do a finish that you're pulling pieces together, to me, and you're not taking a risk, but you need it to work. You know, I don't consider myself to be a professional finisher by any means, or even an intermediate finisher, but I did enjoy that one. Okay, now the other one that was my favorite, and if you've been on Instagram, you've seen it. This is my second Matilda. I don't know how it worked out that way. I had 2 Matilda and 2 Halloween. This actually, I love her so much, and the finishing that was done by Terry of the Old Needle Shop is phenomenal. So this is Patriotic Matilda, and I love her so much. I cannot tell you how much I love her. So Terry finished her in a drum. It was her idea to put her on the top of the drum, and then she used, I had an American Eagle charm that I loved, and I wanted that to be somewhere. Those you can get off Amazon. And then she made this beautiful little bow, the pin. But let me get you a little closer here. There you go. There's her true color. She's just so cute. And I love her stitching on her flag, and she's got a tomato and a flag, and these are her bolts of fabric right here, red, white, and blue, of course, and another pin cushion on top. There are French knots with those, but of course you could use a pin if you wanted to. I know we've all seen those little small whitehead pins that you could stick in there. So, but just an absolutely beautiful job finishing, and I love her to death, and so I cannot wait. She's just so cute. Let me go through this. She was stitched on, I stitched her. She was stitched on 28 count raw. Her stitch count is 60 by 59, and she was stitched with all DMC. So I think she's going to be a really fun, patriotic pattern and part of my display this year. So anyways, super cute. Thank you so much. Okay, I think we are to the last one, and I will say the last one seems to be the most popular one. Yeah, this dang cat. This cat is crazy. Oscar the cat is my dad's cat, and so he has had one design before just called Oscar the cat. But it just cracks me up because everybody seems to love Oscar. Or I did not know how many cat lovers there are out there. And I do need to get a dog design. I had a few people at market ask. But anyways, this came to me because it's a little bit from my sister. We both love coffee. She is a huge book lover. And so I wanted to carry on the Home Is series. So there's Home Is, and that was my first one, and that is my Halloween one. And then there's Home Is Christmas, and now there is Home Is Coffee. Because I really not sure how I would start my day without a cup of coffee. But this is Oscar, the cat, in Home Is Coffee. So Home is coffee in one hand and a book in the other. And I love that Oscar is sitting down with a good cup of coffee, with his reading glasses on, with the bookshelf behind him and his little friends. And he is ready to sit down with his 3 books to learn about coffee and catnip, all sorts of things. So this was stitched also by Chris Young, and I thank her very much because she made Oscar come to life. He looks great. I stitched this on 28 count wheat, which I am learning I absolutely love this color. Love, love, love this color. Things pop right off of it if you're looking for a nice neutral. The stitch count is 106 by 110. It was framed by Hobby Lobby. There are Weeks Dye Works Clockwork, Weeks Dye Works Whiskey, Weeks Dye Works Carrot, and Weeks Dye Works Hazelnut. Those 4 make up Oscar's colors, and then there's some DMC. So that was 28 count wheat. Let me get in a little closer. That's my Oscar. Actually, my dad's Oscar. But every Wednesday when I go to my dad's, he loves to jump up on my project bag and cuddle up. So those are my summer releases, and now let me take 2 seconds to just say they are available now. They have been released. They are at they're at Hoffman and Yarn Tree. They're available to your favorite needlework shop. You just have to let them know that you would like it so that they can order it. Some shops will put the pictures of the new releases out like in their Facebook group and do kind of like market and take pre-orders. That's what Brick City Cross Stitch does. That's where Linda puts her magic together, because anytime there's a new release, she will put that into our group, and then we can say, me please, I'll take that, and that's how they generate how many they need. They are also at Fat Quarter Shop as a PDF only. So as far as my Etsy shop goes, they are not going to be in there for a few weeks, because this is the best way to show my respect and support to the shops, giving them their chance to sell what they have first. In the hard copies, and that's why. So a few people have asked, and I am very thankful for you for wanting to support my shop, but I really would encourage you to go to an actual needlework shop, and that way you can get a hard copy. If you do want a PDF, you can go to Fat Quarter Shop. So it's kind of available in any way you want it right now. It's just not in my Etsy shop, and it's just a decision I made before market, learning a little bit more about the industry, and that is just being able to support the shops themselves. So that lets you know they're out there and you can get them right now. Okay, so haul. Tina Egner, had one day last week, and I won't share everything, but every now and then we have a day, we have a lot of things in common, and special needs being one of them, and every now and then we just have one of these days. And she had shared something that said every now and then you should just do something outrageous. And so it was kind of like, not game on, but it was like let's do that. Let's do that. And so I wanted to do something for her. And it was funny, she turned around and did something for me. But included in that special gift was also a new Prairie Schooler called Fall Fields, and I'm so excited because the critters in this are adorable. So this is part of my haul. I guess you would call it Happy Mail. I should correct myself. So I love these, and I know that we want to have, you know, maybe a bowl filled with them for fall this year, but they are ridiculously cute, and I love that squirrel. So thank you so much. And that came with my floss drops as well, and then another really special stitched piece that I hold near and dear to my heart. So every now and then you just got to be outrageous. And okay, so moving on, I fell in love with, I've never had any of her other designs. I do remember her. I'm sorry, that's my washing machine. From Market, but she's new to me as far as I've not had any patterns, but I've seen her now, and it is Erin Elizabeth Designs. This is the Farmhouse Sampler. And I looked at this and I loved, first of all, when I saw that house, I was like, oh my gosh, that looks just almost like Sweet Chaos Stitcher's house, a little differently, but I don't know, I just grabbed my attention, and I loved all the little motifs in there. The pig stuck out, the barn. So I also thought, what a great piece to bring to StitchCon with me. So I wanted to buy the same fabric I'm in love with because I thought everything would pop off of it. And that is, I bought 28 count wheat. The pattern calls for, let me see here, the stitch count is 177 by 96. And, oh, here we go. She used 14 count, Ada, so I did 28 count. And it's all, there's, looks like 9 colors. Not many. So I got the 28 count wheat. Let me get that out for you, because I thought, how cool would that look? Let's see if I do it this way so you can see it a little there. I think that's going to be perfect. So I am going to go ahead and get all the DMC this week, and I am going to go ahead, Sweet Chaos Stitcher and I both fell in love with it, so she's going to stitch it too, and I think we're going to go ahead and get a start on it because I think it's going to be one of the ones I bring to StitchCon, especially if I can get in some of the house and just have to do fill-in. So I really like this, and I can tell you that the pattern from Erin Elizabeth Designs, black and white, but very legible. So really nice, and I was excited about that. That came from 123 Stitch, and it came pretty quickly, actually. I couldn't believe it. They're moving pretty fast these days. Okay, that's really about it. What do I have for plans? Well, I just shared one. I would like to finish Miss Fortune this week. I would like to get, I have to work on some of my own model. I want to get my floss for the Farmhouse Sampler and get a start, so that would be my new start. And then I also want to work on my Prairie Schooler Nativity, and then I want to start a small Prairie Schooler Santa or something like that for Saturday night stitching. So, and of course work on my Brenda Keys. And I did not get to one red thread before bed last week. I don't know why. I needed to keep it out and I didn't. So I'm going to pull that back out because I know that that's something that I wanted to incorporate as well. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed everything I had to share with you today. I will be anxious to hear how the trunk show for Annabella's went. And then my little things will be back, which is always nice to get my models back home safe. Let's see, what else? I really don't think I have any specific plans for this coming week, which that's fantastic. I love that. And so it usually means I'll get some more stitching in. I'd also love to get this nautical design finished and then maybe kit it up for a model stitcher, because it is almost one of my favorite things I've designed. But anyways, I hope you liked all my summer releases. I do have one thought, because I have a couple of farm ones that they didn't make it for summer releases, but I am thinking more towards July, depending on how I do. Maybe I could do a farm themed release. I think that would be kind of fun. And I have one that is really quite cute, so I'm excited to grab that one from the model stitcher. And I have one myself, Grandpa's Farm, which I need to get back to. So I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like that would be fun to do, have a theme reveal type of a deal. I really didn't have any intention in doing that, but I think it might be able to work out. So we'll see how it goes. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope that you are able to stitch and rest and just have good days in front of you. I hope they're filled with blessings. And other than that, there are no birthdays I have this week, I don't think. So geez, I don't know what I'm going to do with my time this week besides stitch and have a good time. All right, guys, my washer's calling me. This is as authentic as it gets. I just know by next week I'm going to be even more excited for StitchCon as well, and we are going to be in the month of May. Oh my gosh. Almost halfway through the year, guys. What the heck? Okay. I am thankful for my new subscribers. Thankful for all of you that come and sit with me each week. I will catch up with you next week. Thank you for your support and your encouragement always. And don't forget to floss. Bye, guys.